What is up, Top Agent Nation? So hey, listen, welcome to our first Top Agent interview with 10 minutes with the Top Agent. I'm here with Mr. Thom Tillier. Thank you for being here, and thanks for being the first one to interview on the show.
Fun. Thanks.
Yeah, and so I'm excited to learn a little bit about your business. And really, the biggest thing, the biggest reason why I wanted to do this was, like we were talking off air, is just to share things with agents as they get into the industry, whether they're just starting or they've been doing this for a while, and sharing best practices, right? I think that's what this business is all about, and hopefully after we go through this today, we can share some of the things that you're doing in your business, that you're getting success super quick in your business. So again, thanks for being here.
Thanks.
So, I'm always curious to kind of find out, there's so many different businesses out there that you could have gotten into. I mean, you've had a lot of success in your life. You've done a lot of things in your past. Why real estate sales? I'm just curious, what got you into this business?
Well, it goes back quite a few years. I've been a salesperson my whole life, whether it was newspaper subscriptions or whatever it was. I sold cars for years, right?
Yep.
So at some point I was selling BMWs, and I got recruited, so to speak, to Pulte Homes.
Okay.
So I worked for Pulte, and I'm working my way into a sales director position for a short time before I left. But as selling, it was always so much fun, but I sat in models, and people kind of had to come to me.
Sure.
And so I always kind of envied the realtor a little bit, but I also loved working for Pulte.
You envy a realtor, man. What is wrong with you?
Well, I envied the fact that they had everything to sell, right? Everywhere to go.
Yeah, that's true.
And I kind of had to wait for people to come to me. So there was a good and bad, because Pulte's a great company, and it was a lot of fun to work for.
Sure.
But then the bottom fell out of the economy, and so I went in into marketing for automotive. Well, automotive marketing, and then the bottom fell out of that. They closed down 4,200 dealerships in a short window, and then everything went haywire. But we took advantage of that downturn and used marketing. So how this all kind of culminates is my wife and I, we talked for probably the last year or two about, hey, look, here's my skills. Here's what I loved. I loved working for Pulte. Here are my skills. I'm a marketer. I love real estate. Let's put it together and let's do our own thing.
It's cool, man. That's really cool. I think we see agents come in and out of this business so frequently, and the turnover rate and the failure rate being so high with new agents, because they come in this business and they don't know what to do, they don't know what to say, they don't know how to do what they need to do. You've done, I think off air we were talking, I think you started your real estate team, just a few months ago, and you've already done $3 million in sales with a plan to do $10 million in your first year. That's literally unheard of. So I want to share with the audience, I kind of want to walk them through that path and that journey of an agent, your first year in business, being able to do $10 million in production, or that's the goal.
Yep.
I always want to start with schedule. Right, sure. I think one of the biggest challenges that I see with agents is not treating this like a real business. Right, they've got their 9-to-5, they hate their 9-to-5. They said, "To hell with that, I'm leaving. I want to get into real estate," and then it's almost like a vacation, right?
Yep.
So, what could you share with the audience about your daily schedule?
Well, I'll tell you what's really extremely valuable to me is the last 9 years working for the company I worked for. I worked in a virtual office, so I was in charge of my own day. And that grew me to be who I am today.
Sure.
So I have no problem getting up at 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, going to get my workout in, getting to the office early. It's usually I get ticked off a little bit when I see that you're in the office before me, and you probably feel the same way, right? You're like, Tom's car is there. We're always the first ones in the office. And it's because I have a schedule. And the schedule is it's just because you're a realtor doesn't mean you wake up at 9 or 10 in the morning and do whatever the heck you want. I have no choice but to be successful. I have 5 kids at home. I'm the main breadwinner.
Sure.
And my wife is now on the team.
Yep.
So I have no choice but to be successful, and there's no room for failure. So I have to be military-like in my scheduling.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think you know, and that's so good. And you know, there's so many things that you just said. You know, working out. I mean, and we're not going to get into that right now, but you know, it helps so much with the energy that we need to have the success that we have to have in this business, and giving you the energy, the mindset, you know, all those things as far as working out, getting to the office early. And you're right. I mean, there's so many new agents out there, and they're nowhere to be found. I don't know what they're doing in the morning. So you get up early, you work out, you work on your mindset, you work on your goals and your vision.
Right.
You're in the office by 7:30, 8 a.m.
Right.
You know, where would you say most of, there's Emily Ford. Hi, Emily. See, she's in the office early.
Yeah, she is.
So, hi, Emily.
7:55.
Yeah. All right. So, where would you say most of your business is actually coming from right now?
Well, it's a mixture. I've had a couple referrals. I haven't done. So this interview is kind of scary for me a little bit because I haven't done a few things that I really need to do that will take me to the 10 million.
Sure.
But my core, like, I love relationships, and so I've gotten some referrals, and those referrals have culminated, but I've taken such good care of them, the people, that I either get more referrals or I also get referrals from those people.
Sure.
Because they're happy that I'm servicing them and I'm not just a salesperson.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
It's kind of second nature to me. It's easy, that part of it. I mean, our conversion rate right now, knock on wood, is 100%.
Yeah.
But we need, you know, I obviously, as we get busier and as we do more, it's gonna go down. Expire listings, we haven't been consistent.
Sure.
I'll tell you that. But as long as and that's my next step, starting like now, I gotta be consistent every single day, and we do what all the successful people say. Get on the phones, get on the phones, get on the phones. That's your cheapest marketing. I'm not buying any Zillow leads.
Okay.
I'm not buying any Realtor.com leads.
Okay.
I'm spending no money there. I had no money to do that just a few months ago because I kind of went in all in.
Sure.
So it's up until noon. If you look at this as a serious job until noon,
Yep.
and then you have some flexibility between your appointments and everything. But if you look at this as a serious job, you got to go into your office or go into your basement or go into your front room or whatever you got to do, and have that dedication to get on the phones. You will succeed.
So that's great, man. And so you're prospecting in the mornings from 8 until noon. You're doing the hard things that most agents just won't do, right? There's too much pain. There's too much rejection. It's too hard. It's very uncomfortable. You know, and so that's huge, right? So you're doing some expires, maybe some for sale by owners, and all that's going to pay off. And I think what you said was very interesting in that being consistent. Mm-hmm. You know, one of the things that I've learned being in this business is you know, there are many ways to succeed. However, the one piece that you cannot fight against is being consistent, right? It doesn't matter what you do. You got to be consistent. Mm-hmm. All right. So you're prospecting for sale by owners, expired listings. You're working with some of the people in your sphere, taking great care of those people. You know, off air, you were talking about, you know, you go to a listing appointment, and right now so far, and I think you are just about $3 million in volume year to date. You're 100% conversion when you go onto a listing appointment, right? So what would you attribute that to? I mean, what are some of the things you're doing before the listing appointment that maybe plays a role in that? Or what are you doing when you're getting there that has the prospect say, damn, you know what? This is the guy for us. We believe that Tom can do what it takes to get our home sold, because not only are you seeing great success early on in your career, but you know, to have 100% conversion from listing appointment to listing taken, I mean, that's kind of unheard of.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that that question. It starts with the marketing. Okay, so I'm a big fan of the marketing.
Sure.
It starts with marketing. That everything is consistent. It looks good. It feels good. The folders, the business cards.
Yeah, that's huge.
The presentation.
Because that's giving the seller confidence in you, right? Yeah.
So I went out and spent the money on the coil binder.
Yeah.
And we do the manual cutting of these presentations to make them all right. But when you show up and you're professional and I don't wear a suit all the time. I usually wear like a nice set of jeans and a nice sport coat.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on where I'm going to see, but if you have everything done and you actually put the effort in and you present it properly and you're nice and you care about them and what their needs are, like your video the other day.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That was like, yeah, that's exactly what we do.
That's right.
We care about what their needs are, and it comes out. So this latest listing, the one on the lake,
Yeah.
the guy who was interviewing agents, right? And I was like, well, this is the first time this has happened to me. He's actually not saying yes to me. Well, he called me a couple days later, and I'm sure he'll be happy he did. So, yeah, it's all the details, I guess. We're not going in with a shoddy business card.
Right.
We're not going in with just an iPad presentation. And that's not bad.
Yeah.
But we're going in and we're printing everything, we're binding everything, we're showing up like we mean business.
Sure.
And we're showing them the plan for what we're going to do.
Yeah, makes sense. So you've got professional materials. So you walk in and everything's top notch. I've seen all your marketing materials. They are truly world class. I think you guys have done a hell of a job on that. And then when you sit down, you make it about them. It's not about Thom Tillier. It's not about you're the greatest and all these things. You make it about the consumer, and I think the consumer can feel that you care a lot, and so that's huge, right?
Zero about me.
Yeah, zero about Thom. So that's great. So now you get a listing. I think the important piece of the puzzle is, which a lot of agents just don't focus on, is now that you've actually got a client, you've closed that client, or you're working on closing that client, it's about giving them service, turning them into a raving fan,
right.
So they become a long-term relationship, someone that's in your database who you can do multiple deals for.
Correct.
And serve their friends and family for an entire career. So after they've signed a listing with you and now you're working with that client, what are some of the things you do to service that client at the highest level?
I'll give you an example. This house that the guy just called us, we took. We sent out our photographer. It was a lake house, so we sent out a photographer with drone video and drone photos.
Nice.
That was the number one thing. You have to do that.
Yeah.
So we're spending the money up front. We're communicating with the client. That's the number one. Also, the number one thing is we got to communicate properly with the client. So here is exactly what happened with this one. We put together the drone video. Our photographer did. He sent it to me. We did some edits. We took the YouTube link. We sent it to the client. We took my wife, Melissa. Wrote a blog with the professional photos built in.
Nice.
We put it on our featured property page. We took that link and sent it to the client. And we added a few pictures of their house that they didn't have previously.
Yeah.
And we sent it to the client. And last night at 11:35, I got a text from my client.
Yeah.
And he said, the house is listed for $580,000. He said, I would pay $600,000 for this house, and I'd buy it for myself. Great job on the marketing.
I love it. So
you rock, or whatever he said. Yeah.
Yeah. So like all of those things that you and Melissa have done, you have solidified the choice to go with you, the seller's choice to go with you, because up front you did all the right things. The consumer made the decision. Yes, you're the right person. Now all of the things you're doing is making that consumer say, yep, I made the right decision. And now you can start to become what I call referable.
Right, but there's a key point to that whole thing.
Sure.
Do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
Right. So we go in there and we pitch the dream, and we say we're going to do these things. And when you do these things, that solidifies that they made the right decision, right? So do what you say you're going to do. For instance, again, last night I got another listing, one in Waterford, and we laid out the plan. Hey, Monday, photographer. Tuesday, coming soon. Wednesday, sign. Thursday, launch.
Yeah.
Go live.
Yeah.
Saturday, open house 12 to 2.
See, like you have a plan, you have a system, you're treating it like a business.
Yep.
So we're a little over 10 minutes. I just got 2 questions left for you. And again, I can't thank you enough for being here. But, who's holding you accountable? Again, I think people run away from their corporate 9-to-5 to come into this business because they don't want to be held accountable anymore. And I think accountability is so key to being successful in this business. Do you have a coach? Do you have a mentor? Do you have anybody in your life that's helping to hold you accountable to doing the things that you say you want to do in this business?
See, that's where I differ a little bit. I have to hold myself accountable. I always love accountability partners. You hold me accountable in a certain way. Mm-hmm. My wife definitely holds me accountable.
Mine too.
My kids hold me accountable, right? If I can't put food on the table, I'm held accountable. Eric Dietzen holds me accountable. He likes to give me some crap.
Yeah.
I give him the same. So there's a lot of there is accountability in all different aspects. I don't have that true accountability partner, and I kind of sometimes wish I had that.
Sure.
But it's me, and it's my mindset, and it's my discipline. Virtual office, military background, things like that hold me accountable every day, but my family is number one.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And so, the last question I have for you, there's probably going to be a real estate agent that's watching this that is new to the business, that's frustrated, and just like I said before, doesn't know what to do. Maybe maybe they're not getting the help or the coaching or the mentor that they need at their company, or whatever the case may be. What advice would you give somebody new to the business, or someone that's been in the business that is just not having the success that you're having? What advice would you leave them with?
Well, it goes back to create a schedule and be consistent. Create a schedule and be consistent. You can look up schedules online. If you email me at tom@thetillierteam.com, THOM@thetillierteam.com, email me and I'll send you some schedules that I have from my coach. There are a million different ways to move that schedule on to work for you.
Yep.
But you have to have a schedule, and you have to know how to wake up with an alarm and get out and get your butt moving.
Yeah, I love it, man. So again, thank you so much for being here. I think you shared a lot of good things, so hopefully you guys took some notes. Make sure that you are sharing this group with the agents that you think could benefit from free training and coaching and interviews just like this one. Just go to facebook.com/groups/top agent hangout. So this one was 16 minutes, but we'll look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thanks for watching, and you guys have an awesome weekend.
Thank you.